Have you ever wondered how brown sugar gets from sugarcane or sugar beets to your kitchen? It's not just sweet, it's made through a careful process in modern American factories. In this video, we'll show you how brown sugar is created step by step. You'll see how it starts, what gives it that soft texture, and why it has that rich molasses flavor. Whether you're a baking fan or just curious, you'll find this process really interesting. Brown sugar has a story, and today we're showing you how it's made in the USA, from factory floor to final pack. 1. Where it all begins. Brown sugar starts its journey on American farms where sugarcane or sugar beets are carefully grown. These crops need a warm climate and rich soil. That's why places like Florida, Louisiana, Texas, and California are perfect for growing them. Sugarcane looks like tall grass with long green stalks filled with sweet juice. Sugar beets, on the other hand, grow underground like carrots and have thick white roots full of natural sugar. Farmers plant these crops in rows and care for them over several months. They use water, fertilizer, and equipment to help the plants grow strong and healthy. When the plants are ready, usually in late summer or fall, they are harvested. This means cutting the sugarcane stalks or pulling the sugar beets from the ground. Once harvested, the crops are quickly sent to factories, often the same day. That's because the sugar inside them is freshest right after cutting. The faster it gets processed, the better the quality of the final sugar. So before brown sugar ever reaches a grocery store, it begins with hardworking farmers, open fields, and a lot of care to grow the perfect crop for sugar making. 2. Extracting the juice. After the sugarcane or sugar beets are harvested, they're quickly transported to nearby factories. This is where the transformation begins. The first major step is extracting the juice, which contains the natural sugars needed to make brown sugar. For sugarcane, the long stalks are washed to remove dirt and leaves. Then, they go through powerful crushing machines. These machines press the cane again and again to squeeze out every drop of juice. What's left behind is a dry, fibrous material called bagasse, which is often reused as fuel to power the factory. For sugar beets, the process is a little different. The beets are chopped into thin strips, then soaked in hot water in a large tank called a diffuser. This allows the sugar to slowly dissolve out of the beet slices into the water. The result in both cases is a thick, sweet liquid called raw juice. But it's not ready yet. It still contains bits of plant material and other natural substances. So before the juice can be turned into sugar, it has to be cleaned and boiled in the next steps of the process. 3. Making raw sugar. Once the sweet juice is extracted from sugarcane or sugar beets, the next step is to turn it into raw sugar crystals. This process starts by heating the juice in large boiling tanks. The heat causes the water in the juice to evaporate, making the liquid thicker and thicker. As the juice thickens, tiny sugar crystals begin to form. These crystals grow bigger as the boiling continues. This mixture, called massicate, is then poured into special machines called centrifuges. These machines spin very fast to separate the sugar crystals from the leftover liquid, which is molasses. The sugar crystals that come out are golden or light brown in color because they still contain some molasses. This is called raw sugar. It has a coarse texture and is less refined than the white sugar you see in stores. Raw sugar is not yet ready to eat, but is an important step. It will either be sent for refining into white sugar or used directly to make brown sugar by adding molasses back later. This step is key in giving brown sugar its unique color and flavor. 4. Refining to white sugar. After raw sugar is made, it moves to a refinery where it is cleaned and processed to become white sugar. Refining removes the remaining molasses, impurities, and color from the raw sugar crystals. First, the raw sugar is dissolved in warm water to create a thick syrup. This syrup goes through several filtration steps to remove tiny particles and impurities. Sometimes substances like lime or carbon dioxide are added to help clarify the syrup, making it clearer and cleaner. Next, the syrup is boiled again to encourage new sugar crystals to form. These crystals are purer and whiter than raw sugar.
5. Adding molasses. After the white sugar is made in the refinery, the next step in making brown sugar is to add molasses back to it. Molasses is a thick, dark syrup that gives brown sugar its color, flavor, and soft texture. Molasses is actually a natural byproduct from the sugar refining process. When sugar crystals are separated from the syrup during refining, molasses is the leftover liquid, rich in minerals and flavor. To create brown sugar, factories carefully mix a specific amount of molasses with the white sugar crystals. The amount of molasses added decides how dark or light the brown sugar will be. Light brown sugar has less molasses and a milder flavor, while dark brown sugar has more molasses and a stronger, richer taste. Mixing is done using large industrial blenders that evenly coat the sugar crystals with molasses. 6. Mixing and testing. Once the molasses is added to the white sugar, the mixture needs to be blended evenly to make sure every grain has the right amount of molasses. Factories use large industrial mixers to do this. These machines spin and stir the sugar and molasses together until the color and texture look consistent throughout the batch. During this mixing process, quality control is very important. Workers take samples regularly to check the sugar's moisture level, texture, and color. The goal is to make sure the brown sugar isn't too wet or too dry, and that it has the perfect soft, slightly sticky feel. 7. Drying and cooling. After the brown sugar is well mixed, it still contains some moisture from the molasses. To keep it fresh and easy to handle, the sugar goes through a drying and cooling process. This step helps prevent the sugar from clumping together into hard lumps. First, the brown sugar is gently dried in large drying machines. These machines use warm air to remove just enough moisture so the sugar stays soft but not sticky or wet. Drying too much would make the sugar hard and crumbly, so it needs to be carefully controlled. 8. Packing and shipping. The brown sugar is dried and cooled. It is ready to be packed for sale. In the factory, large machines handle the packaging process quickly and carefully to keep the sugar fresh and protected. First, the brown sugar is measured precisely and poured into bags or boxes. These containers are made from materials that help keep moisture out and stop the sugar from drying out or clumping. The packaging machines then seal the bags tightly, often using heat or special adhesives, so no air or contaminants can enter. Before the sugar leaves the factory, quality checks are done to make sure the packaging is secure and the right weight. Labels are added with important information like brand, nutrition facts, and expiration dates. Once packed, the bags or boxes are stacked onto pallets and loaded into trucks. These trucks deliver the sugar to warehouses and stores across the country. From there, the brown sugar finally reaches grocery shelves, ready to be bought by customers. This careful packing and shipping process makes sure that the brown sugar stays fresh and soft all the way from the factory to your kitchen. Now you know how brown sugar is carefully made, from farm to factory to your kitchen. Next time you bake or cook, you can appreciate the hard work behind every sweet spoonful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed learning today.